It's oozing out. Ooh, it's oozing out of there too. It's oozing out. So today on the Scion, I'm doing 3M window weld on my motor mounts. This one right here is my driver's side motor mount. It goes right over here. Very easy to do. Pretty much get the intake out of the way, get the battery out of the way, and then you'll see everything else that's in the way. Just make sure, take pictures and so you know what goes where. And pretty straightforward. 2 bolts here, 2 bolts right in here, right there, so 4. 1 main bolt that goes through the motor mount. Here it is. Already put 3M window weld on it. Still drying up. I did it yesterday. Right here you can see a little bit squishy still. And then right there is the front mount. This one's very simple as well. Pretty much that main bolt right here. You can see right there. And then you see the nut on that side. You just take it off from, you get 2 14s on them. Right there, get that bolt out. And then, let's see, here we are. So, 2 bolts, 2 14s that go through here. This is in the way. So I just unbolted one. This is the bolt right here. Unbolt one, loosen this one, move this out of the way. Get the 2 14s and that'll take that mount out. There's also the rear mount, which is this one right here. Take a look at this one. So the front of the car is right here, the back of the car is right here. You have 2 bolts that go under, and then 1 bolt in the front, and then there's a long bolt that goes right through here, and there's a nut on it. So there's gonna be 4, okay? This one is very difficult. It'll take you time. You can get the bolt out from that side. So if you see that right there, right here, that's where the mount goes. You get a bunch of extensions. I think it's either a 14 or a 17, but you just need long extensions. Bring it out to here, and then just break it loose. Keep threading it out. Don't pull it because you might mess up the bolt. Ideally, you want to get this rear one out first because it's really tough. If you're gonna do this little mod with a 3M window weld, I suggest you take that rear mount first before you take these 2 out, because these 2 are very easy and simple. So when you take that one out, you want these mounts here, but you want to unbolt them from the frame. So it's still on here onto the motor, and same for here. You just have the bolt running through like it is right now, and then you unbolt the bottom of it so it's still an engine. What you want to do is a 2x4. I think you can even go without a 2x4, but you put your jack right in between the oil pan and you hold it up. This is for the rear mount. This is how you get the rear mount out. You unbolt the front mount from the frame and you unbolt the side mount from the frame so it's still on the engine and transmission. All you gotta do is you jack up the car, okay? The reason why you want these in is so then if you need to move your jack around, then you're able to just drop it and the mounts are still there to drop onto the frame, drop on down here. So once you get the sweet spot, once you get that bolt out, the main bolt, and then the 4 bolts on the bottom, the mount's ready to come out. You jack up the engine and then you'll be able to pull up the mount and the bolts will come through and you can clear it from the frame. Then you can maneuver it right through here. I just maneuvered it. Just move these hoses, make sure you don't break any hoses. And then you can go ahead and take this one off and then this one off. Right now my engine is supported by the jack and the 2x4. But the reason why you want the mounts there, just in case you don't get the sweet spot for your jack on the transmission, because sometimes if you get it off on the wrong point, the whole engine is going to be moved like to the left or right or front and back, and you don't want that. You want it to stay as straight as it can be, or as straight as it's supposed to be, as if it was still in the frame, because it's only going to be supported by this one last mount I don't think I'm going to do this mount because I don't think it's the type where I can put the 3M window weld in between to stiffen it up, leave it. But I think most of it is the front and the rear, because when you push the gas, the motor, you can definitely feel the motor move, and then the frame of the car catching up to it and then rolling. So with this, it's just going to be stiff, so once the motor moves, the whole car will move with it. So learn from my mistake, because I took this one and this one out, and then I was working on that rear one, but the jack was holding up the motor, and then that one notch over there, it moved the motor this way a little bit. Now that mount is gonna have a hard time coming out, and since I already did this and it's not dried yet, I needed to put these mounts back so then I can move the jack, because right now if I take the jack out, this whole motor's gonna be resting on that one bracket frame off of the oil pan, and then that mount's gonna probably be worse. So I had to put this back, and when I put this back and I rested and I took off the jack, when the weight of the motor was resting, I could see right here in the corner, let me put my finger on there, right there, I could see this window weld bulging out. So that's why you want to get that rear mount first before all this window weld is in there, because it's not cured yet. It's not completely hard and dry. All right, so here's that rear mount. Just put the 3M window weld on it. Wash it first. Yeah, just get it right in between the crevices. There was cracks on the rubber, so I just tried to squeeze in as much as I can. Here's the final product. All right, so I got the mounts in, just got back from a test drive. This is what happens when you don't let it cure for long enough. I thought 24 hours was enough. This one and this one were 3 days. The one in the back was 2 days. And I went like a dumbass, trying to drive it as fast as I can. Look at that. It's oozing out. And then look at over here. Let's focus on that. It's oozing out. I did this before on my Honda Accord, but since my Accord was down for like a whole month, I did this. And it took me about a month to get it going back, because I was swapping a new motor in it. So I had a whole month to cure. This one is 3 days. This one is 3 days. The back one was 2 days. So let's see if I can get a view. Oozing out of there too. Shoot. It's so funny. So learn from my mistake. Don't go. Oh man, and if you can look right there on the bottom, this right here is the top. Right there is the bottom of it, and it's oozing out of the bottom as well. Oh man, no good. A little update on the motor mounts. It's been about probably a month now. What I did was I went in with a glove, I smoothed it out, pushed it in as much as I can. So now the mounts, they don't have that oozing, isn't sticking out. And try to get that back one. It's right there, but I tried my best to get that back one. So what I did was, I know that I needed to cure some more on the inside. So what I did was, after I smoothed it down, I would turn on the engine and let it get warm. And then I'd let it get warm for a while actually on how it feels. It's responsive. When I give it gas, no lag between the motor and the frame of the car. It just goes. I'd say it's a semi-win, semi-fail, because I'm getting what I want out of it, which is it's very responsive when I give it gas. But when I let go of the gas, feel the motor slow down, and then you can feel the rest of the car slow down. So it's a little, like, I would say a little shaky when you let go of the gas. But I have no complaints because I'm getting what I want out of it, which is responsiveness when I give it gas. When I let go of the gas, it's not too bad. Nothing too much for me to complain about. But I think I'm still gonna get some new motor mounts, some OEM. I might even go to like my local junkyard and get some motor mounts for a cheap price, like I did with my exhaust. What I think I'm going to do with those mounts that I get from the junkyard is I'm going to cut them out, and I've seen people do some polyurethane liquid so that I can still have these mounts. So if those other mounts are too hard, too shaky, which I don't think I'll complain about, because I just wanted to, you know, be responsive and get the best performance I can out of it. So I'll have those, which will be harder, and then these ones, which are okay, you know, like I said, they're responsive. If you made it this far in the video, please consider subscribing and liking. Let me know what else you'd like to see out of this Scion TC. I have a lot of future plans. Thank you. Peace.